but I've been with the city since 1989. So I've had several.
Years is that?
That's 33 years, 33 and a half
So you're
years.
retiring when?
I am retiring, and December 30th will be my last day.
How do you feel about that?
A little conflicted. Been there a long time. A lot of things have happened, but change is good. Time for young people to come in and carry on. But New Rochelle's a great place, and I've really enjoyed being there.
What are you most proud of what you've accomplished over the past 20 years?
Well, the turnaround of the downtown has to be at the top of the list. If you drove down New Rochelle's downtown about 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have seen anything. And if you go there today, it's fascinating. I was in our Thanksgiving parade a couple of weeks ago, and I just thought to myself, boy, this looks a lot different than it did 15 years ago. We have many buildings that are built, occupied, and going up, and there'll be more into the future. So the amount of investment that the private sector has put into the city has been gratifying.
And so how much are we talking? Throw some numbers in there.
Well, we're going to have possibly 3,000 new residential units that are available, maybe even more. And right now we've got, I would say, 4 buildings in the last go-around of this zoning that have been constructed, and they're all occupying faster than anybody thought.
So 4 new buildings this year?
In the last 2 or 3 years, it takes a while to build them.
And how many residential units created?
3,000 could be created. We probably have created over 1,200 now in the last, since we put our master zoning plan in place. And it's been 5-6 years. But it takes that long for approvals. But we've had a lot of those units built and occupied, which is fascinating. People want to come to New Rochelle.
The future is bright for New Rochelle.
Yes, it's the development not only brought some vibrancy to the downtown and people into the downtown. So we hope that the nice restaurants and retail will follow. It's also added a tremendous amount of money to our budget, so we don't have any fiscal problems at all anymore. And another thing I'm very proud of is that we have never, at least in my time, never laid off any of our employees. We've had good times and bad times financially, but we've always been able to get through and keep all of our major services intact for the residents. So yeah, I'm very happy about that.
And you survived COVID?
We did. Unfortunately, we were the epicenter there for a while. The first case in New York certainly was in New Rochelle, and we had your colleagues from national and international news parked out in front of City Hall for a week. And of course, they left right when it started to spread, but that was a very intense time when we had that initial case and all that spotlight on the city. But we got through it all right, and as did everybody else. But that was a tough time.
Probably the most memorable chapter.
Yes, the COVID experience was amazing. I never thought I'd be on all these news stations talking to people with the mayor and separately from the mayor and trying to urge people to do the right thing. But at the time, we didn't really know what the right thing was. So it was a very tricky time. We're used to being on News 12, but we're not used to being on national and international news. So that was a tricky time and a tough time for everybody.
What's the biggest challenge facing New Rochelle right now?
The challenge going forward, in my opinion, is to make sure that the proper retail, restaurants, and little shops follow the residential units that are brought in. It's a typical planning exercise. When you bring people into a downtown with disposable income, then the retail will follow. And New Rochelle has always had a problem attracting quality retail, and I'm hoping that it's starting. We're seeing many new restaurants open up and some other things, but I really want to see the first floor of these buildings where new retail has been built to be activated and for it to be a vibrant, active community.
Great. Chuck, thank you so much.
My pleasure.